Hello friends, we are back with another video. This time we are going to create a massager as a part of our robotics construction level 1 course. Our objectives from this video are to construct massager using instructions and use a variation of circular to linear movement. Let's start building massager. Step 1, we need two double bars. On each of the bar, on one end we are connecting flat connectors using two 0.5 inch nuts and bolts. 0.5 inch is the smallest bolt. Observe the directions of the double bar as well as the bolt heads. In our next step, we will attach one L connector to one of the double bars which we created in step 1. Observe the position of the L connector and also the direction of the bolt. Here, if you see, the bolt tails are up here and here the bolt head is up. In next step, we will use the second double bar which we had created in step 1, and to that double bar we are going to attach one more double bar. We are going to attach that double bar to our first double bar using one nut and bolt here and another nut and bolt here, but there we are also using an L connector. So using these two nuts and bolts, we are going to connect the double bar to this double bar along with this L connector. This side of the double bar, we are connecting one more flat connector using two nut bolts. In next step, we will connect these two parts which we created in step 2 and 3 using one more double bar here. And using one nut and bolt, we are going to connect this double bar to the L connectors which we had attached to our earlier parts. Now, in our new kit, instead of a double bar, you may have to use a square plate. In our next step, we are going to connect three wheels at this end of the double bar. Observe that we have created two holes using flat connectors, and through those two holes we are going to connect our axle. It is here. We are going to use one axle, medium axle, which passes through these two holes, one wheel in between. Now wheel has a protruding side and a flat side. On the protruding side we are going to use one spacer. On the flat side we are going to connect two spacers so that the distance between these double bars and the wheel is same. Now outside we are going to connect one wheel this side and secure it with a shaft lock. This side as well, we'll connect one wheel and secure it with a shaft lock. Next step, we take one more double bar and we are going to attach motor to this double bar. If you see, the motor screws can be seen in the central slit here, and the motor shaft is coming from the vertical slit, the first vertical slit of this block of three slits. We are connecting one spacer as well onto the motor shaft, and this we are calling at assembly A. We now take the gear B and we take 1 inch bolt and connect it to one of these holes on gear B. Secure it tightly. We are going to mount this gear onto the assembly A and then secure it. We are also adding two spacers onto this bolt, and in next step we are going to connect the assembly which we created earlier onto the bolt which we have attached to the gear, and we are going to connect this using a nut, but which is going to be loosely coupled. The nut has to be loosely coupled because this is going to move. So this circular motion is going to be converted into a linear motion. We have seen oscillatory motion. There we have a push-pull rod and a pendulum rod. In this, we only have a push-pull rod, and instead of one push-pull rod, we have created one full assembly, and that is acting as a push-pull rod. And so it is going to give us the linear movement. This bar we will be using to hold it in our hand. These three wheels act as the massager points. In operation, these three wheels touch your body part where you want to apply the massage. And that completes our massager. Now let's go back and see what did we learn from this video. We learned to construct a massager using instructions, and we used a variation of circular to linear movement. So we have understood the oscillatory motion. We just did not use the pendulum rod. We used the first two parts, which is the earth point and the push-pull rod, to convert the circular movement into linear movement. I hope you will like making massager. Let us know your experiences through the comments below. Let's meet in our next video where we will construct one more interesting robot.